Good afternoon, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hoping you had a great afternoon. It is Wednesday afternoon. Just got home from work. I had enough coffee for the day. It's actually a Pepsi kind of day. $1.25 at the dollar store for these. I pick up a half a dozen every time I go to the dollar store. I love it. I'm a Pepsi freak, unfortunately. I know it's not good for you, but here today to talk about yet another favorite band of mine. Every album, every band I show seems to be a favorite, but these guys are. And I don't hear a lot of talk about these guys in the vinyl community, or I've just missed it. But it is Wishbone Ash, the amazing British rock band, formed back in the mid-70s. All their earlier albums are just to die for. So good. Noted for their twin harmony lead guitar work. They've been praised for that lead guitar work. You got in the beginning Andy Powell and Ted Turner, voted two of the most important guitarists of rock history by Traffic magazine in 1989, and melody maker called Andy Powell and Ted Turner the most interesting two guitar team since Jeff Beck and Jimmy Page and the Yardbirds. So pretty high praise. Wishbone Ash has influenced so many bands: the Eagles and Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and Van Halen and Lynyrd Skynyrd, Thin Lizzy, Metallica, Dream Theater, Overkill, Opeth. Just the list goes on and on and on. 26 studio albums in their career. I hope there's more. I haven't heard of any more. Their last one being, I think, 2020. But I'm only going to show what I have, which is about a quarter of that. But still some awesome albums. With their debut, there is a connection to Deep Purple, believe it or not. Definitely one of my favorite bands, my second favorite band behind the Beatles. This is 1970s debut album by Wishbone Ash. So Deep Purple, the band opened for Deep Purple in 1970, early 1970. And Ritchie Blackmore was jamming it up during the warm-up or the sound check. And Andy Powell, one of the two guitarists in the band, joined in and started jamming with Ritchie Blackmore. And he was so impressed, Ritchie Blackmore was, that he recommended that MCA sign Wishbone Ash. And actually Deep Purple's producer at the time, Derek Lawrence, produced this amazing album. It's kind of a cool concept. The CD looks like a little 45, and it sounds really good. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Combination of blues and jazz and progressive rock and psychedelic improvisations on this one. What a great introduction. What a great debut album by the band. So good. Then you got their second one. Same CD concept, the 45 looking CD on this one. This is 1971's Pilgrimage, the second album by Wishbone Ash. More folk and acoustic music compared to the blues rock sound of the first one. But still, some experimental stuff on this one. Some great instrumentals. Again, that lovely twin lead guitar that they're known for. Great album, Pilgrimage. It's also a beautiful cover on this one. And there's the inside cover there. Then you have their third, perhaps my favorite, one of my favorites, Argus, their third album. This is the deluxe version. It's got BBC Radio on side 2. BBC One, the original album. That was released in 1972. And probably the most critically acclaimed or most successful album that the band put out. It wasn't really intended to be a concept album, but on side 2, there's a lot of Greek mythology on this one. Also features a blend of progressive rock and folk rock and hard rock. Of course, that twin lead guitar harmonization that they're known for. But beautiful album. I love the cover as well. It's a double album. There's some photos of the band here. These guys are so good, so good. And then we have Wishbone Ash, Wishbone Four. Quite a departure from Argus. Quite a departure from Argus. Not as many solos, more acoustic. Still a decent album. I love listening to every album that these guys have put out, but when you look at the first three albums, then you compare it to this one, it's definitely fourth in the list for sure. I wouldn't want to rank the other three. They're all going to be number one in my opinion, but a decent album. It's just not on par with the rest of them that were released. Then you have Live Dates, 1973 release, one of their first live albums. 10 of the tracks out of the 11 tracks were featured on the band's first 4 albums. The other track was Jimmy Reed's blues standard, Baby What Do You Want Me to Do? 1973 release again in Croydon Fairfield Hall's Reading University, or Reading University, Newcastle City Hall, and Portsmouth Guild Hall. All recorded by the Rolling Stones mobile unit. This is a VCLT. I want to say Aaron Mutha Alomar, but it's so long since I've received it, I can't remember who gave it to me. Then the 5th album, studio album, 1974 is There Is the Rub. The first album to feature guitarist and vocalist Laurie Weisfield, who would be with the band for the next 11 years after this one. Changed the sound as well. It's got more of an American sound to it, as it was recorded in America. There's still double twin lead guitars on this one. It's more rock and more heavier than Wishbone 4 for sure. But great album. I loved it. Maybe the worst in the bunch. I've got to get it. I should have replaced the outer sleeve before I did this. This is Locked In. 1976 is Locked In. The 6th album by the band. Didn't peak very well. Didn't have a lot of original tracks on this one. Even the fans and the critics and the band themselves call this one of the weakest albums in their catalog. But as a collectionist, I still want it in my collection. This is a promo copy of their next album, New England, 1976. You got the sticker here. 7th album by the band, obviously more successful than Locked In, the previous album. More harder edged songs, but there's also some really cool rock ballads on this one too. Quite a unique album for sure. It's awesome. I've got to get a better version of this one because the CD's beat to hell. It's all cracked to hell too. This is Front Page News, 1977 release, the 8th album by the band. The production is great on this one. There's a lot of light rock on this one compared to their other albums, but I like it. I just thought I'd find a better copy of it. Then we have another promo copy. Oh, sorry for the glare. You can see it in there. Maybe you can't. This is Just Testing, 10th album by the band, 1980 release. The last to feature original lead vocalist and bassist Martin Turner, bass guitarist Martin Turner. But I like it, even though not too big on the cover, but it's a great album for sure. Another live album, Wishbone Ash, or Hot Ash, it's called. You almost think this is a bootleg, but it's not. It's a good album. It's nowhere near the Live Dates style. You're not going to get blown away by this, even though the stuff is good on here. But it's not as good as Live Dates. So that's what I'm thinking. It might be a bootleg, just by the cover as well. But still happy to have it in my collection. And we have Twin Barrels Burnin'. I love this cover. It looks like a typical American hard rock cover. 12th album, 1982 release. Highest charting album since 1976. Uriah Heep's bassist Trevor Bolder was on this one, and it's the only album to feature him on there. So this makes it a great rockin' album, and again, I love that cover. Just reminds me of an American band. I can't remember one right off the bat, but and then I have their last album, to my knowledge, their last studio album. Hopefully there's more. This is Coat of Arms. This is on beautiful red vinyl. 23rd studio album, 2020 release. The final album to feature Joe Crabtree on this one, the drummer, who left the band in 2022, and Mike Truscott replaced him. So I'm hoping there's more. But that's it for my Wishbone Ash collection. If you don't know these guys, check them out. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by the variety of music and their style. But that twin lead guitar is so prominent and so excellent, and it just makes my day every time I hear it. So there you have it, guys. Take care. Love you all. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.